Hebu kwa sasa tulekee pwani ya Kenya kule kaunti Mombasa ambapo katibu mkuu wa muungano wa vyama vya wafanyikazi nchini Kotu Francis Atwoli anazungumza na wanahabari, na hii ni kuhusiana na hali ya siasa humu nchini hasa baada ya ule mkutano wa ANC katika ukumbi wa Bomas of Kenya siku ya jana. Hebu kwa sasa naomba na tumsikize.
Me and indeed to many Kenyans that weekly Musalia Mudavadi suffers from Samson's complex. This is where, like Samson in the Bible, one becomes so bitter about their inability not to change circumstances around them, and thus result in self-destruction, self-hate, self-inability, and self-immobilization. As the Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions in Kenya, which equally sponsored me to be #1 in the large East African Trade Union Federation, the organization that equally made me to be elected as a spokesperson for the organization of the African Trade Union Unit. Pan-Africa, working closely with the African Union, a position I don't think, even if Mudavadi did visit Aluya Muganga, would be able to achieve that particular position. And our organization is respected globally. And I would like to strongly warn Kenyans at this particular juncture that, like Samson in the Bible, Mudavadi is in the business of bringing down his small house to cause total destruction to both his supporters and opponents. This explains why he was dragging my name and that of the Central Organization of Trade Unions Kenya in his speech that was not written by him. For anybody who has been listening to what William Samoei Ruto has been talking about me, about Raila Amolo Odinga, about President Uhuru Kenyatta, that is the exactly person who crafted Musalia's speech. That was not him. He has over the years displayed himself as a humble person who doesn't want to attack others. So that was an important language into his own mouth, and properly orchestrated by our arch-enemies, the speech that Kenyans were treated to yesterday. Mudavadi, who I strongly believe suffers from the Peter Pan syndrome in his political career, is used to breathing the political oxygen of strong men around him. And that is why he has been unable to grow his own lungs and thorax. Because if you are used to breathing some borrowed air, like the air here, I breathe very well-known air like ozone air. And then when you are on your own, or you are on high altitude, then you cannot be able to grow your lungs and be a person who is healthy. This has made him not to, this has made Mudavadi not to breathe independently of strong men. In other words, this has made him not to be himself, or in a language understandable to the environment, says that Mudavadi cannot drive alone without being driven by other people or close friends. Or in other words, that Mudavadi cannot be an independent political seeker. He cannot seek for a position as Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi. For instance, in the 90s, Mudavadi survived from the political oxygen of the late President Moi. For those who know Mudavadi, Mudavadi has been just like Moi's kid since his father passed on, when he was firstly made a minister and so on, and nursed very well up to the year 2002 when Kibaki was coming in. He lost even his parliamentary that year, his parliamentary seat, after having made the same mistake, such as the one he made yesterday. He lost it. I personally went to his office, he was the Minister for Transport, and told Musalia, your friend Raila Odinga has proposed you to become a president. And NAC people, including President Kibaki, are supporting you. Don't make any mistake of going to be a vice president or to be appointed as I've heard. You will be a vice president for 2 to 3 months, and that will be the end of you. Indeed, he didn't listen to me. He lost that opportunity. I would remember vividly I had bought a new Nokia telephone. I broke when I saw it on the newspaper that Musalia has been appointed as vice president instead of becoming the second president of the Republic of Kenya. Thunder doesn't hit a tree twice. Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi will never ascend to the presidency. You can take it to the bank. This was shocking considering at a time President Moi left politics, Mudavadi was a shining star at that particular time, a star that he has never been able to recapture. Later, it is Raila who picked Musalia Mudavadi from the political cold to make him a deputy prime minister in the year 2008, a position that he was equally given on a silver platter. The right person at that particular time who would have claimed this position from Raila would have been William Samoei Ruto. And that is where the enmity between Raila and William Samoei Ruto started. Because
Naam, mtazamaji, bila shaka basi huyo hapo ni Francis Atwoli, katibu mkuu wa muungano wa vyama vya wafanyikazi nchini, akizungumza kutoka pwani ya Kenya. Bila shaka kuhusiana na matukio ya siku ya jana pale, akizungumzia sana kiongozi wa chama cha ANC bwana Musalia Mudavadi. Naam, bila shaka ni taarifa ambayo mwenzangu Tobias Chanja anazidi kuifuatilia kutoka pwani ya Kenya. Tuko na angazia mengi zaidi hapo baadaye, hasa baada ya